trying? Tell me, are you fighting? Fighting for how you like.
It's a beautiful morning. Yes, it is. It is the good life, baby. We are here today to talk about some principles that will bless, inspire, and help you go to that next level in life. Now, for the last week, we've been at the Ensign. The last couple of weeks, actually, we've been at the Ensign. We were there, and we were talking about David's battle at Ziklag. We talked about how these principles that he went through, we can apply to our daily life today. Now, today, as you can see, we're beyond the Ensign. We're right now outside of that zone, but we're going to continue talking about David, because it's so much in this man's life, in this particular event, that we can take to heart, we can apply, and we can use it in our life. Now, today we're going to talk about your future. Now, I know everyone is at different areas in their life. I get teenagers to folks who up to 40 and 50 watching this broadcast, but we got ranges here. But we're talking about your future. And I don't care where you're at in life, you have a future. Now, today's topic is your future, the past, or the promise. Simple as that. The past or the promise. Now, again, David is our example. Ziklag, he goes through the battle last week. We talked about it. We talked about you got to be strong or you're going to die. It's no in between. And today it's almost similar, because we're talking about the past and the promise. Because this is what happens. Just like David coming back from battle, he could assess the situation as, I'm the worst leader ever. I left, my intel was messed up. I went out to go get the Amalekites, came back, and the folks done burned our villages, done took the wives, done took the children. So what does that leave me? How can I assess myself after that experience? Do I say, yeah, I'm a great leader? Or do I say, you know what, I don't need to lead nobody? Well, David encouraged himself in the Lord, went out, recovered the children, recovered the wives, came back to camp. God restored them. But this is what I want you to understand. I want to put us in that past situation, because in other words, when we come up against situations, and here it is, and you got to remember this, you never let your experience define you. And that's what happens. We allow our experience to define us. It's a very dangerous thing to let circumstances define you. It's just as dangerous as letting people define you, because people, when they define you, they limit you. When they say you are this or you are that, and you really receive that information is that I'm this or I'm that, then you're limiting. You gave them power over your life. Same with circumstances, same with experiences. We give them power, we give them license over our life when we allow a situation, a circumstance, an experience to determine who we are. I want you to get this. I want you to get this, because you can never let an experience determine who you are. What do you mean, Jimmy? Well, it's a failed marriage, a failed business, low grade in the class. I don't care, low grade on a test, didn't get into the college you wanted to get into. Because you waited too long to go to college, or because you took a long time to go, well, I don't have it, or I'm not that smart. Whatever it is, you don't let experiences stop you from moving forward into the promise. You got to understand, an experience is just that. A circumstance is just that. It is not a defining moment. It is not a definition of who you are. That is what I want you to get. It is not a definition of who you are. I could care less what happened to you. I care less of how your business failed. I care less of how much money you lost. I could care less if your wife left or your husband left. Whatever it is, you do not ever let that situation say, this is who I am. I'm a loser. I don't have the right skill set to be this individual or to achieve this level of success in life, only because the experiences I've had, the circumstances I've come against. Let me tell you something. You are bigger than your experience, and better yet, God's promise is bigger than your experience. You don't let an experience define who you are as an individual. You are bigger than that. You are better than that. What you got to do, which is principle number 2, is let the promise define you. The promise. The promise of a brighter day, man. The promise of my situation turning around. The promise of me being a good spouse. The promise of better a quarter coming around the corner. The promise of a better year next year. The promise, people, the promise of God's word coming into your life, letting you know who you are, what you can do, and what you can be. This is the promise I'm talking about. I'm talking about waking up in the morning knowing that I got God's favor over my life. I'm talking about waking up tomorrow morning knowing that because I have God's favor, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Man, I'm talking about understanding that you have a safety net. You have a secure place here in the promise, regardless of what you have experienced in life. That's why this story is so awesome to me, that I love it so much, because the man came back to failure, to defeat, to the game over. I mean, pack up and let's go home. No, baby. He encouraged himself in the Lord. He understood that this experience is not going to define me. This experience does not make David who David is. This experience is just a stepping stone. It's an opportunity for me to prove something out today. Opportunity for you to prove something out today. So what? It took you 10 years to go back to school. It took me 15 years to go back to school. And I just completed my bachelor's. It makes no difference of where you came from and what you've been going through. That's not you, baby. You are what you see about you. What do you see? Do you see yourself as someone who's a loser, someone who's caught up in this experience? Well, Jimmy, I can't do a business because mine failed. I can't get a degree because I flunked out of school. I had a low GPA. Whatever the excuses are, see, you got to move beyond that and move into a vision of what God said you are, a perception of what God said you are. You're not this person who can't do whatever. You're signing off on failure when you say, well, I can't do. You just sign off on failure. The moment you say, well, I can't run. I can't go back to school. I can't serve in this auxiliary. I can't do this. Why? Because of all these experiences that have happened to you in the past. Don't limit you. Don't limit your potential because of a failed situation you came up against. Don't limit yourself, man. Don't limit yourself. I want you to get this into your spirit. Do not limit yourself. Some of you right now have been contemplating and debating. And like we all do, this is not a prophetic word. It's just a fact of life. I'm living life. I know what we go through as people. And we always try to progress. We always want to move ahead. But there's that past that says, you know what? When you tried that last time, it didn't work. And so because we think about we tried it last time, it didn't work, guess what? We don't do it. Man, if only Gideon had bought into that lie. If only Alexander Bell had bought into that lie. If only any person who has achieved any level of success had bought into that lie, we would not be reading about them, studying about them, and we definitely would not be using their equipment today in society. What do all these people have in common? That same mentality, but they move beyond it, which is, I failed at that, so it's not going to work. Let me tell you something. You take that failure, you take what didn't work, and you learn from it. That's what it is. You learn from it, and then you move. You know what not to do next time. So you're closer to your destiny. You're closer to your promise because you know what not to do. You don't chalk it up. I mean, when you on the road and you get a flat tire and you going somewhere, you going home, you don't stop going home. You fix the flat and you get back on the road. Let me tell you something. Let's fix the flat, baby. Let's get back on the road. Let's not limit ourselves by the past situations we went through, the past hurts and pains and disappointment. But let's hold on to the promise. The promise is what my future is. If I can just believe in the promise, if I can just see myself in the promise is coming to pass. Leave the past in the past. Focus on the promise. Yes, TGL episode number 18 is a wrap. But baby, I love you. Keep pushing, keep moving toward your dreams because the greater one is inside of you. And let me tell you something. When he's on the inside and we focus on his promises, guess what? We can't help but get to where we want to go. God bless you, my people. We'll see you on next week, episode number 19. Subscribe to the page. share the video, subscribe to the Facebook page. We got over 3,000 subscribers. I want you to become one of them. I want you to become a YouTube subscriber. Let's start making progress toward the promise. God bless you. We'll see you next week.